What a weekend we have just had in the men's physique world. The battle between Jeremy and Ben Quill has come to an end. We had Brandon Hendrickson fly over to Asia, take out the China Pro after a wardrobe malfunction, and Mehdi Kabaj taking out the Dominican Republic Pro. So without further ado, let's get straight into this one. Let's kick things off with the biggest show over the weekend, the Sasquatch Pro. Here's a fun fact for you. This is something that I didn't actually know. Did anyone out there know that Sasquatch is another way of saying Bigfoot? Hence why there was a Bigfoot handing out the trophies and there was a Bigfoot-like statue that everyone's trying to chase, or why Andre Ferguson was trying to chase more specifically. But there you go. If you didn't know, that's what Sasquatch means. But anyway, on to the show. Obviously, this was the most hyped show of the weekend. We had Jeremy Buendia up against Ben Quill. And let me tell you, this show lived up to the hype. The guys looked incredible. Obviously, we knew it was a show between Ben Quill and Jeremy. The rest of the guys were almost just making up the numbers. Sorry to say, boys, but that's the truth of the matter. We all knew it was between Ben Quill and Jeremy. And it was a 50-50 split as to who was winning this one. 50% thought Jeremy was going to win it. 50% thought Ben Quill was going to win it. And some people thought Ben Quill was robbed. Some people thought Jeremy deserved the win. And based on the footage that we saw, number one, where was Gilco? We need Gilco doing these live streams, because some of the footage with these live streams, I should say, is terrible. But we're gonna go off what we can see. So from the front, from the back, Ben Quill looked sharper, he looked leaner, he looked more conditioned, he looked more aesthetically pleasing in comparison to Jeremy. Jeremy brought a much bigger, a more denser physique, as opposed to, like I said, Ben Quill, who brought a more aesthetically pleasing physique. Now, that was based on the live stream. After seeing the photos, the better quality photos of the two guys, I think it tells a completely different story. Yes, Ben Quill was shredded. Yes, Ben Quill was lean. Yes, Ben Quill was aesthetically pleasing. But based on the photos, Jeremy wasn't far off. Jeremy was, not that he wasn't even far off. Jeremy came in at 100%. Ben Quill came in at 100% as well. Now, when you look at both of the athletes side by side, Jeremy has a beautiful flow to his physique. He's got the big, broad shoulders. And what I love about Jeremy is he can manipulate his posing and his physique to make his waist look much smaller than what it actually is. Ben Quill has a tiny physique, has a tiny waist, I should say. But Jeremy knows how to pose properly and knows how to manipulate his shape and his physique to make it look a lot different. And that's what bodybuilding is. Bodybuilding is a game of illusions. And Jeremy Buendia knows how to move around and pose to fit his structure. But on that, there are still some things that Jeremy may need to tweak a little bit. Now, with his front shot, if you look at him with that front pose, you can tell that it looks like he can't get those obliques flexed and they don't look conditioned. But when he hits that Ventura-like pose, you can see the conditioning come through. So I think between now and the Olympia time, Jeremy, you really need to just work on holding and flexing those obliques, because if you're able to do so, that front shot is absolutely lethal. You've got a nice flow to you. You've got that nice silhouette. If the curtains were dropped and all you could see were the shadows of the two guys, Jeremy has one of the best silhouettes in the division, right? With Ben Quill, he kind of looks very similar to a lot of the other athletes. Jeremy's got this look about him that's so different to the rest of the division. So I believe Jeremy definitely deserved the win on this one. After seeing the side-by-side comparisons, I think he's got the full package. He's got his back does let him down. A couple of weeks ago, I did say that Jeremy has the best back in the division. I may need to retract my comments on that one, because after looking at He's back in comparison to Ben Quill. I think Ben Quill has a much nicer and a much better looking back. But I think from head to toe, Jeremy he's complete. He's got the shoulders, he's got the arms, he's got the chest. He may be lacking a little bit of upper chest, if anything. He can manipulate his body to have that tiny looking waist. And then he's got those big legs. He's got that X-frame look about him. So yeah, I think if anything, Jeremy came in at 100%. He definitely deserved the win. I think he just needs to really tighten up with that front pose and hit those obliques a little bit harder. We know they're there. When he does, like I said, when he does that Ventura step, you can definitely see them. He is lean. He's shredded. He's in condition. He fixes that pose in the next 3 weeks. He's going to look really, really good on that stage. And I know, I was about to say I know for sure, but I have a really, really good feeling that Jeremy will creep up a couple of places in comparison to his last show, where he finished 10th. I think he can definitely crack that top 8 based on what he presented in his last show. So congratulations again, Jeremy. Definitely deserve the win. Looking forward to seeing what you can bring in 3 weeks' time. We now head from the US all the way to Asia, all the way to China for the China Pro. Now, before I get into the placings and how the athletes went, I need to address something. This is the best goddamn bodybuilding show production that I have ever seen. We know the Asians do everything well. The tech, the gadgets, the works, but they have showed their strength when it comes to bodybuilding. The bodybuilding community of China needs to be applauded because what you guys have done over the weekend is sensational. This should be the standard when it comes to the Mr. Olympia. Remember, guys, this is just a standard pro show, not a massive show, not the biggest show in the world. In comparison to the Olympia, this absolutely smokes it. From the start of the show where they had the Chinese drumming performance to the actual stage production when the athletes come out with the smoke, the camera guy running around the athletes, just everything about the show made it feel like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. And this is the standard that the Olympia needs to be at. Sometimes the Olympia just feels like a normal bodybuilding show, a normal regional show. This is what it needs to look like. Pyrotechnics, smoke, graphics, everything. If Tyler Mannion, if Dan Solomon, and if the Olympia team needs some tips, either hire these guys from China, fly them over to the US, or take some tips on what they've done. Because if you guys can produce something like this, doesn't need to be this year, but over the coming years, I can guarantee you the bodybuilding world will explode. The Olympia will feel even more prestigious and it will be the greatest show on earth. Now let's talk about the actual show. And as we all thought, Brandon Hendrickson, Mr. Social Media, makes sense actually why he went to China. Maybe it's part of the reason why he knew that there was going to be a good production over there, get some good photos for the gram, good angles, etc. But he came out on top. And don't get me wrong, he looked sensational. He was up against some really tough competition. A lot of people thought that he was doing the trip just to get an easy win. It wasn't easy for him. I mean, the guy dealt with some issues on the way there. Someone or something ripped the guy's shorts. Mr. Zen, you can tell he's waking up every single morning, he's uploading his stories, he's the happiest guy on earth, no one is going to get in his way, all that sort of stuff. Nothing, someone was trying to throw him off. Someone wanted to get in his head. But what I want to know, Brandon, come on. Who travels to the other side of the world with only one pair of board shorts? I'm not even a pro, I'm still an amateur, and I know that when I go to my local shows, I'm bringing 2 pairs of shorts minimum. I don't know what you're doing bringing 1 pair of shorts all the way to Asia, but that being said, he did manage to find a pair of shorts. Elite Wear got a nice little promotion out of that one because obviously he didn't have any of those dark sport shorts, so he needed to find a competitor's shorts. So I don't know if Dark Sports, I mean, they obviously were notified about it, but Elite, I don't know if you're able to post any of that content, but they would have definitely got a nice little promotion out of that. So, like I said, Brandon obviously came out on top with the win. The guy looked great. I mean, he's got arguably the best front shot in the division. He looked a lot better than what he did at his last show. Obviously, he didn't compete at last year's Olympia. So he looks, it's a much improved package that Brandon has brought. There is one thing that I need to comment on, and I think it's in regards to the shorts. The shorts were a little bit distracting. I mean, if anything, but the guy looked on. The guy looked really good. The guy has now added a little bit of a boost to his step leading into the Olympia. And don't get me wrong, Carlos and I've lost track. I forgot his name. Zhao. I can't believe I've just forgotten his name. Zhao. Yeah, Zhao. Far out. I had a bit of a mental block just then. The second and third came in looking incredible as well, and that obviously gives them a little bit of a boost leading into the Olympia as well. So yeah, overall, Brandon, well deserved. And I think, yeah, like I said, he's got a much better improved, a much better package moving into this year's Olympia. You know, he's complete from head to toe, left to right. He's got that X-frame, very similar to what I said about Jeremy. It's not like he's missing those legs. And I think now the legs are an important part of men's physique. I think it will hinder your placing if you are missing that lower half. Back in the day, it was a completely different ball game where you could just be predominantly all upper body focused with smaller legs. But now that the shorts are getting smaller, it will tarnish your placing if it is out of proportion with the upper body. So good to see that Brandon has still got those nice thick legs. He's got that tiny waist, chiseled core. Sorry, I'm closing my eyes and thinking about Brandon at the same time. It's a bit weird, I know, but I'm thinking about Brandon, eyes closed, trying to describe him. So chiseled core, nice chest, big arms, big delts. Overall, looks really, really good. And yeah, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with moving into the big dance in 3 weeks' time. So looking forward to seeing how much more improved Brandon can get himself in the next 3 weeks. Let's now head over to the Dominican Republic, where Victor Ramirez and Mehdi Kabaj did battle over the weekend, with Mehdi taking the win. Now, both guys looked great. You can tell now that we're creeping closer and closer to the Olympia, these guys are coming to show their physiques at 100%. I know there's a whole percentage thing going around at the moment, but I feel like these guys have definitely come in at 100%. Now, looking at these two, it was a battle similar to the whole Jeremy and Ben Quill situation, with Mehdi being the mass monster up against Victor, who has that more aesthetically pleasing physique. Now, you can tell that when you look at the two, your eyes go straight to Mehdi. Mehdi, he's big, he's large, he's full, he's dense. He has a great structure to him. The one thing that is missing with Mehdi is that lower half. Now, this could be due to the fact that he could be coming close to that weight cap, so he might need to have sacrificed that muscle, from the lower half and added it to the top to just make sure that he is filling out the gaps and making sure that he is coming close to that weight cap. But if you look at Victor, on the other hand, he looks nice to look at. He's got that smaller waist, those bubbly arms, a nice chest, a nice set of abs. But if we look at it from an overall, I think Mehdi does take it from, if anything, sorry, I'm mistaken. I do think, personally, I think Victor takes it from the front. But if we turn to the back, this is where Mehdi shines. If you go on Mehdi's Instagram page, there is a reason why every video and every photo that Mehdi posts is from the back, because the guy knows that his winning shot is from the back. Take a look at the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is dialed in. That lower back is paper thin. He smokes Victor from the back, even when they're up tall. Look how much more muscle Mehdi has on his frame in comparison to Victor. Mehdi has a nice set of rear delts. He's got a nice mid back, good traps, nice lats. Victor is missing all of that. He's got it there, but it's absolutely nothing in comparison to what Mehdi has brought to the stage. Now, this is a great win for Mehdi, because with the whole new point system that's coming into place, which actually is in effect now, Mehdi has collected some nice quick points right off the bat leading into the O, so that he can enjoy the O, maybe get some extra points right after the O, try get a quick qualification. But I don't know the strategy that Mehdi is playing to qualify for next year's Olympia, but all in all, nice set of points that he's picked up over the weekend. Can you believe that we're less than a month out from the Olympia? 3 weeks to go until the big dance. If you're enjoying these videos, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because all I'm gonna be doing between now and then is pumping out Olympia content left, right, and center, hyping it up, keeping you guys in the loop with all the news, all the goss, with all the athletes leading up to the big dance. So if that's something you want to be a part of, hit that subscribe button. Before you do so, while you're there, hit the like on this video if you did enjoy the content. It goes a long way for the growth of this channel. So thank you again for making it to the end of this one, and I'll see you in the next one.